Don't tell people what I'm planning till it's done. I learned that early, not from strategy, from the unrun. Race that gets exhausted in the telling before the start. The man who announces his intentions loses heart before the finishing, because the announcement is a substitute for the doing, and I'm not interested in the pursuit of being seen to try. I want to finish and then show what I've built in silence, what I made in the slow. My closest friends have learned to stop asking what I'm working on. They know the answer is a smile, and then the work goes on. Without a preview, they'll see it when it's ready. I keep my counsel the way a river keeps it steady. Course without announcing where it's going into the banks. I'll arrive when I arrive, no preview and no thanks for the patience, because patience is an ode to me. I'm just a man who works in silence till the thing is free. Keeping counsel in the quiet, keeping counsel through the riot of everyone who wants to know before it's time. Keeping counsel, mine. Keeping counsel in the making, keeping counsel through the breaking and rebuilding of the thing before it stands. Keeping counsel in my hands. I've watched ambitions die in conversations before Monday. Watched men lose the energy for doing in the Sunday. Preview of the doing, the announcement was the action. For men who need the audience to feel the satisfaction. I don't need the audience till the curtain rises. My counsel is my own until the thing surprises. Even me with its completion, that's the only moment worth the telling. And maybe silence is the proof that you believe the thing you're building, that you don't need validation for the faith you hold inside the making. Keeping counsel is the knowledge that the work will speak eventually, and the speaking is enough without the preview testimony. Keeping counsel, still not done. Keeping counsel, not for anyone, until the thing is finished and the silence breaks, keeping counsel for its own sake. I have a room inside myself that nobody enters, not my wife, not my oldest friends, not the mentors who know me best. A room that I go into after everything the day has put me through. It's not a hiding place, and it's not depression. It's the necessary privacy of self-possession, the place where I am only mine, without the obligation of performing being okay for anyone's navigation. Some men are afraid of their own quiet rooms. They fill the silence with the noise of other people's tunes, who can't sit with themselves past 30 seconds without reaching for the phone or for the television or the preaching of distraction. They are running from the room. I am walking into mine, because I've learned to assume that what's inside the quiet is just me, and I can manage anything that lives inside without the damage. The quiet room inside my chest, the quiet room, my only rest from everything the world requires of my face. The quiet room is my own space. The quiet room after midnight, the quiet room in the low light, where nobody needs anything from me but me. The quiet room is where I'm free. men I most respect all have that room inside them, the particular stillness that lives behind the system of engagement and performance and the daily presentation. The quiet room is where the man behind the man takes station. And when they see me go quiet in a conversation, when I stop performing presence and the duration of my silence makes them uncomfortable, I'm not absent, I'm in my room, which is the most present I am ever, in the fullness of the room. The quiet room, last glass tonight. The quiet room in the dark and light. The room inside the silence that is mine alone. Quiet room is always home. They say the quiet ones are harder, that you have to work to find them, that the man who doesn't offer himself freely leaves you blind in the attempt to know him. And they're right, it's not for everyone. The still man is an acquired taste that not everyone has won the patience for, and that's fine by me, always has been. I never wanted to be known by everyone I pass in the corridor of daily life. I wanna be known completely by the very few who stay long enough to earn me still waters on the deepest. That's the old line, and it's true. The man who moves through rooms without the noise of his review of everything he's seen has seen more than the one who tells it. The silent observation is the skill most people sell short. I sit with what I'm learning till it settles into knowing. I don't perform the thinking, there's no point in showing the process before the product. When I speak, it's already done. The quiet means the thinking is still running. Still waters run the deep. Still waters in my sleep. The surface of me tells you nothing. Still waters keep on running. Still waters through the years. Still waters feels not shallow, not transparent, just in red, stay red. The man who talks constantly is the man processing out loud. The man who stays quiet has already moved through the cloud of everything uncertain into something he can stand on. Still waters don't need to announce the ground they're standing on. And maybe in the quiet you can hear what moves below, the current of a life that only stillness lets you know is running in underneath the surface and the presentation. Still waters are the source of the deepest navigation. Still waters here below, still waters in the slow accumulation of a life lived deep and unannounced. Still waters every ounce.
I learned early that most things don't need to be said out loud, that the man who speaks the least in the room is the man the room allows into its confidence. The quiet one gets told the real thing, not the performance version, not the management presenting. I learned that silence is a kind of listening, that words interrupt, that if I close my mouth long enough, the truth will open up. Without my help, I don't need to fill the air to understand. I've carried more in silence than most men put into their hands. My father was a silent man, and people called it cold. until they needed something real and found they had been told everything they needed in the decade of his presence. The silence wasn't absence, it was concentrated lessons. I am the same. The people who have known me long enough have learned to read the signs and have found it full of stuff that words would only cheapen. There are things too real for speaking. The weight of silence carries what the loud ones keep on leaking. The weight of silence is not empty. The weight of silence is plenty. Every word unspoken is a choice, not a loss. The weight of silence knows its cost. The weight of silence holds it all. The weight of silence through the fall of everything that asks me to explain or to defend. The weight of silence doesn't end. I've watched men spend their silence on the wrong explanations, who gave the loud version to protect their own reputations and lost the real thing in the telling, lost the dignity of being misunderstood and staying quiet anyway. And when they say I'm hard to read, I take it as a gift. The man who can't be read completely has the hardest thing to live. Out of him, the weight of silence is the weight of understanding that some things are too precious for the ordinary landing. The weight of silence is still right here. The weight of silence, year after year. What I carry without speaking is the heaviest and best. The weight of silence is my rest. carry what we never named aloud. Who move through rooms beneath the weight of the particular crowd. The things accumulated, the old debt and the apology, the invisible sacrifice and the private eulogy. We carry the friend we lost to ordinary drift. We carry the grief that never reached its finish. We carry the son of the father in the mirror. We carry the provider's weight, which gets no clearer. Nobody asked us to, that's not how the ride. We became the carrying men through what we survived. Through the choosing and the consequence of choosing. Through the decades of the winning and the losing. And somewhere in the carrying we learn the shape of it. The particular weight of being the man who takes a bit more than he distributes, the man who absorbs the difficulty and converts it into oars. By order of Garrison, we carry it. By order of Garrison, the bit that no one else was gonna pick up, we picked up. By order of Garrison, stepped up. By order of Garrison, still here. By order of Garrison, through the years of carrying what we never talked about to anyone who asked. By order of Garrison, carries the task. And if you carry something with no name and no announcement, something from a long time ago, or something in the present that you haven't told anyone, you are the man this music's for. By order of Garrison, carry it more. Not because it's noble, but because it's yours. By order of Garrison, carry it because the carrying is the shape of who you've chosen to become. By order of Garrison, carry on. By order of Garrison, last glass raised. By order of Garrison, through the days of carrying what we never put in words. By order of Garrison, still unheard. Move in silence, let the music speak. By order of Garrison, the
weight we keep in silence is the heaviest, and most are owned by order of Garrison. You're not alone. I thought I finished it, the grief I mean. Thought I had processed it into the clean closure that the books described and other people promised. 3 years after, and I thought I was the honest graduate of grief, then something small, a particular song, a smell of fall, light in a specific afternoon in October, and the grief is there in full, as fresh and sober. The grief I never finished isn't faulted. It's the evidence of love, the tailor of the wound left the size of the love behind it. And I've learned to stop trying to rewind it into something manageable and small. The grief I never finished is the tall version of how much the loss was worth. You grieve proportional to what had worth. The grief I never finished, still in me. The grief I never finished won't be free. And maybe it's not supposed to be done. The grief I never finished is the sum of everything the person meant. The grief I never finished, time well spent on a love that was worthy incomplete. The grief I never finished is complete. I've met men who finished their grief in a year, who packed it clean into the box and the gear. But moving forward, I believe them and I think it's fine. Their love was perhaps a different shape than mine. not lesser, just differently proportioned. The grief I never finished was coded into the ordinary days and ways that keep it close enough to honor what I owe the grief. And someday I may find that the grief I never finished has become just the weight of love that persists long after the person, which is all grief ever was. The grief I never finished is love continuing. The grief I never finished, still alive. The grief I never finished, help me survive. The particular loss of a man who was irreplaceable. The grief I never finished is the traceable evidence that what I lost was real. The grief I never finished is how I feel. It's still, and I'm not sorry, I'm not done. The grief I never finished is the one.
I wake up before the alarm because the weight of it wakes me. The particular responsibility that makes me into the man who checks the accounts before the coffee. The man who runs the numbers in the early morning softly, without waking anyone. The provider's private audit, the checking of the foundation that the family stands on it, without knowing that I check it, without knowing the effort of the maintenance that runs before the breakfast. I carry my wife's security, not because she asked me, not because she's unable, because she trusts me with the particular way of being the steadiness in the structure of a life, the readiness of the man who keeps the lights on past the moment when the lights require keeping, the postponement of my own exhaustion for another quarter. The provider carries what the family's order. Provider, up before the light. Provider, through the night.
that follows every night when it wasn't an L. Provider, this is the tug. Provider, carrying the weight. Provider, early, late, the unannounced maintenance of everything that runs. Provider, that's what I've done. Don't resent it, this is not a complaint song. I've chosen this and I would choose it again alone. Every difficult stretch, the choice is clear. What I carry is the choice I chose most deliberately here. In this life, at this address, with these people, the caring is love expressed through the equal, an opposite of burden, purpose. The provider carries weight with purpose. And on the days when it's the heaviest, when the carrying feels farthest from the love it started as, I go back to the original, the decision I made in the simple morning that said, these people are worth every single ounce of this. Provider, that is the whole business. Provider, still right here. Provider, after every year of morning audits and the quiet wait. Provider, never late. I sat in the front row with the thing I wanted to say, folded in my jacket pocket for the whole of the day. The eulogy I had written in the 3 a.m. before, that said the real version, not the managed version for the room, the one that said what he actually meant to me. In the years before the end, in the particular freak and difficult love between a man and the version of his father that exists past the ideal, I chose to not bother. I chose the shorter one, the one the room could hold, without the weight of what I actually needed to be told. In front of witnesses, I chose the public version of a private grief and felt the smaller version. To myself for choosing smaller, but I know why. Some things require the privacy of 3 a.m. to cry. Through fully not the public eulogy's performance, what I didn't say at the funeral was enormous. What I didn't say at the funeral lives in me. What I didn't say at the funeral won't be free until I say it to the dark, some 3 a.m. alone. What I didn't say at the funeral is still home. What I didn't say at the funeral, folded in the jacket. What I didn't say at the funeral, I could hack it into words, but not in public, only in the night. What I didn't say at the funeral is still right. I've spoken it to the dark, not in prayer exactly, but in the particular private enactment of the eulogy I should have given, said to the room of nobody but myself in the private gloom of 3 a.m. 6 months after. It took that long to say it cleanly without the self-conscious editing that public grief requires. What I didn't say at the funeral was done in the hours. And maybe that's the right place for it. Not the room full of people who knew him differently. Not the version edited for context, but the honest 3 a.m. version, said to nobody, which is the same as saying it to him. What I didn't say at the funeral was said. What I didn't say at the funeral, still here. What I didn't say at the funeral, clear now. Said to the dark, the way the real things get said. What I didn't say at the funeral isn't dead.
There's a man I grew up with from before I can remember, who I haven't spoken to since what must have been November of the year. Everything changed, not a falling out, no drama, just a gradual drift of lives that went different, no trauma. But I carry him, the particular laugh in certain moments that belongs to him and not to me, the components of a 20-year friendship that dissolved in ordinary life, not in catastrophe, but in the slower ordinary strife. I could call him, there's no reason that I can articulate why I haven't, other than a particular way of the first call after years of silence being harder than the call after months, and months become a quarter of a year, and then the year, and then the years. And somewhere in the compound interest of the fears of the awkward first call, the friendship became memory, and I carry him in memory, not in ceremony. The friend I lost to the drift, the friend I lost in the rift of ordinary life that pulled us different ways. The friend I lost to the days. The friend I lost, still in here. The friend I lost, year after year. The laughter and the knowing of a man who knew. The friend I lost still carries you. I've thought about the call, specific enough that I've dialed 3 digits and hung up the dialing and the file. Away decision not to file it is the carrying I do with this particular friend, the marrying of action and inaction in the middle of the number that I've had for 20 years, the particular lumber of the friendship that was once so easy. The friend I lost makes the carrying breezy, and maybe he carries me in the same specific way that I carry him in the laugh that surfaces at certain moments, and the knowing that it's his. The friend I lost was never really gone,
just differently held. The friend I lost, one for him. The friend I lost on a whim of ordinary life that I still think about. The friend I lost, without a doubt.
We are the men who keep the watch when everyone is sleeping, who sit inside the honest dark and do the private keeping of accounts with who we are and who we said we'd be. We are the 3 a.m. inventory. The night belongs to us, not out of pride or isolation, but because we've learned the particular vocation of the honest hour, that the dark before the morning delivers what the daylight kept in warning. We are the men who pour the glass when the house is finally quiet, who sit with the whiskey and the memories we invited. Everything the day was too loud to accommodate. We hold the night watch and we hold it late into the dark, past the point of comfort, into the 4 a.m. that says you suffer. Well, the dark says you've been sitting in the honest version of yourself without quitting. By order of Garrison, we own the night. By order of Garrison, in the low light of the 3 a.m. that nobody else claims is theirs. By order of Garrison, nobody stares. By order of Garrison, wild awake. By order of Garrison, for our own sake. The dark before the light is where we live. By order of Garrison, that's what we give.
if you're up at 3 and can't explain the waking, and sit inside the dark and feel it taking everything the day built up, and leaving just the real. You are the man this music's for. This hour is your meal. The night watch in the long dark, the whiskey and the memory, the hour nobody owns, the before the world wakes honesty, by order of Garrison. On the night, on the dark, on the 3 a.m., on the star. By order of Garrison, last glass of the night. By order of Garrison, before the light. Everything the dark delivered, or the honest hour. By order of Garrison, dark is power. Move in silence, let the music speak. By order of Garrison, 3 a.m. is the peak. The rich thing a man becomes when the world is asleep. By order of Garrison, the dark runs deep.
There is a gift inside the hours before the world wakes, a particular permission for the man who takes the time between the sleeping and the rising to spend in his own company without disguising himself in any role before the world wakes. He is only what he is before the day makes its demands on his performance and his presence. He is in the undiluted essence. I've built some of my best years in these hours before the world wakes. The invisible powers of the pre-dawn thinking and the quiet doing are compounding into something worth reviewing. Every time the morning comes with what I've added, in the hours no one saw, the calculated progress of the man who rises early and belongs to the dark before the world curly opens back into itself and calls for coffee before the world wakes. There is a quality of time that is worth twice the daytime version. $1 of pre-dawn beats $10 of afternoon immersion. Before the world wakes, it belongs to me. Before the world wakes, I'm completely free of everything it needs from my face. Before the world wakes is my space. Before the world wakes, 3 to 5. Before the world wakes, most alive. The man I am before the day requires the role. Before the world wakes, I'm whole. My best ideas came in the hours no one witnessed. My most important decisions reached their fitness in the dark before the world came back to claim them. The pre-dawn hours are the ones that name them, made them real before the daylight could complicate the simple truth of 3 a.m.s, uncomplicated view of what matters before the world wakes. I know exactly what I am and what it takes. And when the light begins at 5, and I have lived in the dark hours fully and completely, as only the man before the role can do, I am ready for the world that's coming. In a way the man who slept through it can't be. Before the world wakes, I wait first. Before the world wakes, one last sip. Before the world wakes, before the trip back into everything the day requires. Before the world wakes, I retire.
remembrance uninvited. But I've learned to stop fighting and be delighted by whatever comes, the good ones and the ones I'd rather not revisit, but I let them settle like the lather of the old feelings that attached to them before. I process what they meant, now they're just the more complete version of the archive of a life. The whiskey and the memory at 3, the quiet stride. My father at 25, a picture in a box. My mother's voice exactly as it sounded when the clocks were different and I was 8, and everything was certain in the particular way that childhood lends its curtain of reliability to things that were already falling. The memory of the stability is still worth calling. Up at 3 a.m. when what I need is just the feeling of having been held before I learned the art of stealing. Whiskey and memory at 3 a.m. Whiskey and memory, where I begin the inventory of a life that's mine. Whiskey and memory is just fine. Whiskey and memory, pour it slow. Whiskey and memory lets you know what you've been carrying all this time. Whiskey and memory down the line. Don't get drunk at 3 a.m. I get honest. The whiskey is the solvent for the toughest emotional residue, the things that harden in the daylight years before I garden them into something manageable at 3, the whiskey and the memory make the excavation less risky. I can look at what I couldn't look at directly. The 3 a.m. review, the whiskey, the memory. And when the glass is empty and the memories have come and gone, and I've sat with all of it long enough for the long view to take over, from the close-up of the feeling, I go back to bed a man who's been through something and come out the other side by 3 a.m. light. Whiskey and memory, last pour of the night. Whiskey and memory in the quiet light, the archives of a life revisited in hell. Whiskey and memory compelled.
They say it's darkest just before the dawn, and I've been there. Enough times now to say it isn't metaphor but prayer. That the darkest moment is the final test before the breaking of the night, the last push before the morning's making of the new day. I have sat in the darkest version of the dark and felt the quality of its immersion begin to thin, the way a fog thins from the edges. The dark before the light is gentler ledges. I know the 4 a.m. specifically, the particular shade of dark that precedes the gray, that precedes the May, beginning of another day. I've learned its texture, I've sat inside it enough that its lecture has become familiar. 4 a.m. dark says 1 more hour. That's the only phrase it offers. 1 more hour and the gray arrives. 1 more hour and the morning hides. Still the dark, dark before the light, and the heart finds out if it has what it takes. Dark before the light is what it makes. Dark before the light at 4 a.m. Dark before the light always ends, even when it feels like the permanent condition.
dark before the light. It's just transition. Men who know the dark before the light are different from the men who've only known the day, indifferent to the particular grace that comes from having sat through the full dark, the earned morning that comes back to the man who stayed, not the man who ran from it. The dark before the light is a gift for the man who began with it and stayed inside it past the point of comfort into something else, into the small bud. Undeniable beginning of the gray at the edge of the dark before the light. That gray is the most beautiful thing a man who sat through the full dark has ever seen. Dark before the light is what the light means. The dark before the light, one more glass, the 4 a.m. that says one more hour. Dark before the light has power. There are thoughts that only come at 3 a.m. that wouldn't survive the daylight, that the flame of daylight logic and the noise would dissolve before they could be properly examined. They require the floor of 3 a.m., the particular temperature of late night thinking, where the usual defenses have started sinking, and what remains is the less defended version of the thought that daylight keeps behind its curtain. I've solved more at this table than in any boardroom. I've written the real version of decisions in this back room of the night where the performance falls away. What I actually think about, the think and finally say itself without the management of impression. 3 a.m. is where I go for the confession. What I actually want, what I actually feel. 3 a.m. is where the thinking is most clear. Thoughts at 3 a.m. finally honest. Thoughts at 3 a.m. keep their promise to say the real version, not the managed one. Thoughts at 3 a.m. when the day is done. Thoughts at 3 a.m. in the kitchen dark. Thoughts at 3 a.m. touch the heart of what I'm actually working through. Thoughts at 3 a.m. are the truest few. The 3 a.m. thought is usually the right one, the one that the daylight version of yourself might fight on. But the night version knows, the night version has the quiet long enough to hear what actually has been trying to get through all week. The real assessment of where I am, what I want, what needs adjustment. 3 a.m. delivers the memo that the day delays and sends it up from the deep in the honest rays. And if I wrote down every 3 a.m. thought, brought it to the morning without distortion, I'd be the most honest version of myself by 9. 3 a.m. is where the signal is. The day is where I manage it into something I can live with until the next 3 a.m. Thoughts at 3 a.m. still coming through. Thoughts at 3 a.m. old and new. The inventory of a life delivered in the dark. Thoughts at 3 a.m. are where I start.
I caught myself at 40 in the mirror, and I saw him. The particular set of the jaw, something in the flora of expression, the way I hold my face in certain moments. Is his face exactly, and I felt the components of 30 years of trying not to be him completely, and finding that the best of him had entered me discreetly, without announcement, without my consent or rejection. The son who carries the father doesn't choose the section. I carry his hands, the particular width with a palm, the way they move through problems with a calm that isn't studied, inherited and landed in me, the way his silence was always candidly the answer before the question. I carry his patience in the room, his particular ability to fill a room with presence without performing in it. I carry his essence. The son who carries the father doesn't know it. The son who carries the father doesn't show it, till the mirror catches him in unguarded frame. The son who carries the father carries his name. The son who carries the father in his hands. The son who carries the father understands. Later than expected, what he was given. The son who carries the father keeps on living. I used to be afraid I'd carry the worst of him, the cold season of his last decade, the story he was told, to tell about himself that wasn't true. But what I carry is the thing before the fraction. The man he was at 30, when he still believed in things. The son who carries the father carries everything, including the version that the father lost, that the son can still pay for at the father's cost. And when my son catches himself in a mirror at 40 and sees my jaw and my hands
and the way I hold a room without performing it. I hope what he sees is the best of me that made it through. The son who carries the Father carries forward. The son who carries the Father is still here now. The son who carries the Father doesn't know how to separate the self from the inheritance. The son who carries the Father makes sense.
I gave up the thing I wanted most at 29, because the thing that needed me was clearer than the line between my ambition and my responsibility. I made the choice without the ceremony, without the announcement or the conversation starter. I just took the smaller room and worked the harder path and never mentioned what I set aside. The invisible sacrifice became my private guide. My wife doesn't know the specific dream I set aside. I never told her, not because I have to hide, but because the setting aside was mine to make, and the making of it meant I couldn't take the credit for the sacrifice without corrupting the gift of it, an invisible disrupting of the accounting was the only way to keep it clean. The way a vow is cleaner when you sleep with it in private and don't carry it to court. The invisible sacrifice is its own sort of freedom I chose, and the choosing is enough. Without the audience, without the mention of the stuff. Invisible sacrifice, mine alone. Invisible sacrifice, I've never shown the cost of what I gave for what I kept. Invisible sacrifice while others swore. Invisible sacrifice in the years. Invisible sacrifice no one hears. The quiet of the thing I set aside without a word. Invisible sacrifice of her. I've known men who carried their sacrifices loudly, who mentioned every cost in every conversation proudly, and found that the carrying out loud made it heavier. The sacrifice performed is never the real one, ever. The real sacrifice lives in the private knowledge of the cost and the choice without the college of witnesses to validate the giving. Invisible sacrifice is the only honest living. And if the thing I gave was worth the giving, then the evidence is here, the life I'm living, in the room I chose, beside the people that I chose it for. Invisible sacrifice, that's what it's for. Invisible sacrifice, still not told. Invisible sacrifice, getting old. In the way it mattered, and the way it doesn't. Invisible sacrifice just was. There's a man I should have called before he moved away, who needed something from me in a particular day of his life when I was busy with my own particular year. And I knew what he needed, and I didn't appear. That was 11 years ago, and I still carry it. The apology I never gave, I married it into my inventory of the things I owe, the ones I can no longer give to people I should know. My mother at the end, the last few months were hard. I was harder than I needed to be, on guard against my own grief in a way that came out sideways, as a coldness in the room on the days and the always. Present, choosing to be less present than I was, because the presence was too painful, and because I never said I'm sorry for the distance I imposed. The apology I never gave her is never closed. The apology I never gave lives in me. The apology I never gave won't leave. It doesn't haunt me daily, but it's always there. The apology I never gave, in the background somewhere. The apology I never gave to the ones who've gone.
The apology I never gave carries on in the way I try to be with the living. The apology I never gave is my giving. I've thought about the letter, the posthumous accounting, addressed to no one living, just the mountain. Evidence that I know what I owe, and I'm aware of it. The apology I never gave is the pelvis with who I'm trying to be now, every year of doing better. Is the apology in practice, if not in letter, to the people who deserve more and received less? The apology I never gave is still my best. And maybe that's the only apology worth giving. Not the letter but the living, not the words but the becoming of the man who wouldn't need to apologize for it if he'd been there. The apology I never gave is being paid now silently. The apology I never gave, still outstanding. The apology I never gave, still standing. In the way it changed the man I've been since. The apology I never gave makes sense. There are things from 20 years ago I haven't finished with. The emotional accounting of a man who took a hit. At 23 and set it down and never came back to it until 45, when life went quiet and the residue of it surfaced with a specificity that surprised me. 20-year-old things can still be live, I've realized. The old debt doesn't disappear by being ignored. It just waits in the compound interest of the store. My father and I, we left things on the table when he died. Things that a man in his 40s goes back to and tries to settle with himself, because the other party's gone. Settling it alone is harder, but it still goes on. I'm 20 years in on that accounting, and I'm closer than I was. But the old debt is the oldest, kind of carrying thing with no resolution date, that you just have to carry past its expiration of its way. Oh, debt still on the books. Oh, debt in my looks, in the particular shadows around my eyes some days. Oh, debt never quite pays. Oh, debt 20 years. Oh, debt through the tears that come when I stop running and sit with what I owe myself. Oh, debt on the shelf. I've met men who abandoned their old debt completely, who moved cities, changed their names, and lived discreetly, separate from the thing they couldn't pay. I tried that for 3 years and found it doesn't pay. You carry it regardless, the distance only makes it heavier by the compound interest it accumulates. In avoidance, I went back and sat with mine. Old debt is better carried close than buried in the brine. And when the old debt is finally light enough to set down permanently, not because it's been resolved, but because you've carried it long enough to know it's part of you, not a burden anymore, but biography. Old debt becomes just the story of what made you. Old debt still right here. Old debt after all these years. The unpaid account of a man who's doing the math. Old debt on the path. Tried to name it 30 times and always come up short. The thing I carry doesn't fit the vocabulary I was taught. It's not anxiety, I've been asked, I've done the reading. It's not depression, some days it's not even needed a name. It's more the compound weight of everything accumulated over years of choosing and the things that never stated their intention till they landed. It's the weight of being someone who was asked to carry more than one. My doctor asked me once where I was holding it and pointed at my shoulders without knowing it was accurate. He was guessing, I was certain. The weight is in the shoulders and behind the curtain of my chest where I keep the careful inventory of everything I've been, the whole compulsory collection of the man I've been through, all the versions of myself. The weight has no name, just its persons. The weight has no name, but I know it. The weight has no name, and I show it in the way I hold my shoulders, in the way I sit in rooms. The weight has no name, but it looms. The weight has no name, doesn't need one. The weight has no name, I can read one in the faces of the men who carry the same thing. The weight has no name, but it sings. I've seen the same unnamed weight in other men's faces, in the particular set of the jaw in certain places, and the recognition is immediate and never spoken. Two men who carry the unnamed weight, a glance unbroken. For a second, then away, the acknowledgement is enough. The weight has no name, but the men who carry it are tough. Not by performance, by the long practice of the carrying, without complaint, without the naming and the marrying. And maybe it doesn't need a name. Maybe the carrying is the thing. The weight without a name is lighter than the weight we bring into the therapy and the meme, into the declaration and the asking why. The weight without a name just wants to ride. The weight has no name, still carrying it. The weight has no name, still managing it. What I hold without the word for it is real. The weight has no name, but I feel. There was a night I didn't think would end. The particular brand of darkness that has no spectacular exit point that you can see from where you're sitting when the waiting for the morning is the only fitting response to what the night has brought. I've sat through those, the ones where nothing helps, where the night only grows more dense the more you fight it. I learned to stop fighting, to sit inside the longest night and wait for the light in. Not every night ends clean. Some mornings arrive tired from the preceding dark. Some dawns are riot on worse terms than you wanted. The morning after the longest night is never triumphant. It's just still here, still upright. And that's enough. Arriving at the morning after the longest is not victory, it's the continuation of the strongest. Argument for staying, that the nights eventually end. Even the ones that felt like they had no been. The longest night has a morning. The longest night without warning becomes the day that you survive. The longest night, still alive. The longest night, sitting with it. The longest night,
until it loses the particular density that made it longest. The longest night has not the strongest. I've met men who were broken by the longest nights, who didn't know the morning comes, who lost the fights with darkness that required only one thing: continuation. The longest night wants only your capitulation. I've also met men who sat through 40 longest nights and came out the other side with calibrated rights to speak about the dark, who learned the nights not permanent, just overwhelming, and it passes. And if you're in the longest night right now, and 3 a.m. looks like it will always be somehow, the permanent condition, it is not. The longest night is ended for every man who got to the morning of it. Even the ones who swore it wouldn't. The longest night ends. The longest night almost done. The longest night before the sun. The glass at 3. The sitting with the dark. The longest night is just the start. Someone has to be the last one out. I've always been that man, the one who checks the perimeter, who has the plan for whatever the night might bring before the morning, who takes the watch shift that nobody asked for without warning. It's not anxiety, I've been asked, and I don't think it is. It's more the particular satisfaction of a quiz. I pass every night, the house is safe, the doors are locked. The world outside can be whatever it wants. I've stopped. The night watch is an ancient job that men have always held. Before the world was settled, before the city swelled into the structure that provides its own security, there was a man on watch. I feel that in my body. Particular readiness of the last one awake, the low-level alertness that I take into the sleeping house, not fear the responsible weight of
being the one who checks that everything is straight. Night watch in the quiet, night watch through the riot of my own thoughts in the dark, keeping them company. Night watch is the guard I keep. Night watch before the dawn. Night watch carrying on past the hour when the world has given up the vigil. Night watch is where I'm still. My father kept the night watch. I remember the particular sound of him moving through the house in the spectacular. Dark before I understood what he was doing. Now I do the same, and now I'm the one accruing the quiet credit of the night watch. No one sees it done. No one thanks you in the morning, but the watching was begun. For reasons that don't need a thank you, the night watch is its own completion. And when my son is grown and has his own house to watch at night, he'll feel the pull of this. He'll wake at 3 without a fright, check the doors without knowing why, and lock them and return to bed. And somewhere in the dark, he'll feel the light of all the men who kept the watch before him. Night watch, one more hour. In the tower of the dark house sleeping that I'm keeping safe. Night watch by grace. When the house goes quiet, I become a different version of myself, the father and the husband and the person who is always orientated to walk someone else's lead. Becomes just the man again, which is the man I need to spend some time with every night before the morning brings the whole re-entry back without a warning. My family is everything, and I need 20 minutes of being nothing but myself, no role in it.
I walk the house when everyone is sleeping. I check the locks, I do it every night, the keeping. Well, the house secure is one small thing I can't control. When everything else in the world is out of my patrol, I look in on the children quick, without disturbing. Just the shadow in the door observing their breathing and the particular peace of sleeping children. That is the most convincing evidence I've been given. When the house goes quiet, it's just me. When the house goes quiet, I am free of everything the day requires of my face. When the house goes quiet, I find my place. When the house goes quiet late at night, when the house goes quiet, I'm alright. With everything I am, when no one needs anything. When the house goes quiet, the man can sing. This is the hour where I do my private accounting, the small inventory of whether I've been mounting the life I said I wanted, whether today was close to it, whether I was the man the morning required, or just the ghost of it. When the house goes quiet, I am honest with the only judge whose verdict I take seriously. The man I am in the empty kitchen at 11:30 is the test of everything I claim to be. When the house goes quiet, when the house goes quiet, one more round. When the house goes quiet, I've been found by the man I actually am. After the performance ends, when the house goes quiet, the quiet tends.
After 2 and before 4, there is a country that belongs to no one's calendar, the monthly. Planner has no entry for this territory. The waking world doesn't claim it, and the sleeping world ignores it. I've been a citizen of this hour for as long as I remember. The particular cold of 3 a.m. in December. Against the window while the city finally breathes. The hour nobody owns is the hour that believes in me completely. No one's expecting anything of me. At 3 a.m. the obligations temporarily flee back to the morning where they live. Here I am only the man I am without the witness, and I'm not lonely. I know this hour the way some men know their workshop. The particular smell and temperature in the drop. An ambient sound that means the world has gone unconscious. I am the caretaker on shift. I find it prosperous. This hour, the productivity of thought at 3 a.m. It's not about productivity, it's about the hymn of things I couldn't reach in daylight hours busyness. The hour nobody owns gives me the stillness. The hour nobody owns is mine for now. The hour nobody owns allows the real version of everything I carried through the day. The hour nobody owns makes a way. The hour nobody owns, the 3 a.m. The hour nobody owns holds them. All the things that daylight didn't have the space for. The hour nobody owns is what I'm here for. Someday my children will discover this hour for themselves. Will sit at 3 a.m. with their own particular shelves of unresolved and interesting. I hope they find what I've found, that the hour nobody owns is kind. because it asks for nothing and it gives the quiet back. Of everything the noise removed from the front to the back. Of your awareness 3 AM restores the whole inventory. The hour nobody owns is the start of every story. The hour nobody owns, one last glass. The hour nobody owns as the dark hours pass. The country between sleeping and the world that's gonna come. The hour nobody owns is where I'm from.
It's 3 in the morning and the house is completely under. Every room has found its level and I'm sitting here in wonder at the particular quality of quiet at this hour that belongs to no one's schedule and is no one's power. To interrupt the world has gone unconscious, and I'm here in the most honest version of the day, past all the fear of being seen, past all the performance of the waking. Just me and what I'm actually thinking while the thinking's taking. I've made some of my best decisions at this table at 3 in the morning, when the daylight and the fable of who I am in daylight hours had finally gone to rest and left me with a quieter man who's doing his best to figure something out that the noise of days kept covering. The 3 AM version of the problem is the discovering beneath the surface version. It's the real one. Everything else is just what happens till the night has come. 3 AM and wide awake, 3 AM for my own sake. The honest hour nobody owns, 3 AM, when the world goes home. The 3 AM and nothing false, 3 AM where everything dissolves except the real
except the true 3 a.m. Just me and you. I don't fight the waking anymore. I've learned to meet it. The 3 a.m. arrival means there's something I should greet with full attention rather than the half attention of exhaustion. The hour has something in it that requires my absorption. And maybe the insomnia is just the real self knocking to get past the daylight version, past the performance and the clocking of the hours into categories. 3 a.m. says, here is what you actually think, here is what you actually feel, here is the man that you are. Before the morning, "3 a.m. and wide awake, 3 a.m. for my own sake, the glass at 3, the honest dark.